Flat Rate Training, Video 7. Understanding how labor is dealt with in a flat rate pricing system is important for every company converting to flat rate pricing. This video will focus on how labor times are determined and the impact on repairs. So, if you work in an established service company, you're already charging for your service work. And if you're like most service companies, you're charging an hourly rate that you then multiply by the number of hours and minutes that you spend on the job to ultimately determine the amount to charge for the repair on a customer's system. You likely have a day rate and an after-hours premium rate that you charge for nights, weekends, and holidays. When using flat rate pricing, you will also have those same service rate options available. The only difference is the time during the service call that you deliver the quote for repairs to the customer. And, as they say, timing is everything. When using time and materials pricing, you communicate the repair fee to the customer after the work is completed. That's because you must wait until the repair is completed to determine all the time spent on the job. It's not uncommon for a technician to then get some pushback from the customer on the amount of time spent on the job or about the hourly rate. Labor fees become an even bigger issue if your company doesn't collect on the job. A bill in the mail within a week after the work is completed almost always instigates a call from the customer questioning why the service fee was so high, followed by a request for an adjustment to lower the bill. When using flat rate pricing, the labor time to complete routine repairs is predetermined and blended with the parts fee to provide one flat fee to cover that repair. So the price quoted up front is the price charged, regardless of the time it takes to complete the task. Now, don't be frightened by the preset labor times. The time allowed for each repair is what it should take an average technician with decent skills to complete that specific repair task. There's also a little extra time added to be sure that most technicians can complete the work in the allotted time. Also, you should know that flat rate pricing is a system of averages, and most technicians can meet or beat the times allowed to complete a repair in 7 or 8 out of 10 repairs. So, what you may lose on one repair will undoubtedly be recovered on the other repairs for that day. And here is the magic of flat rate pricing. Because labor and parts are blended into one flat repair fee, customers aren't focusing on the labor rate and time on the job, but simply on the cost to repair. So, just to be sure your company doesn't lose any money when converting to flat rate pricing, we suggest you raise your labor rates in the flat rate system. Not too high, but high enough to cover a few unknowns. Higher labor rates will assure that you will break even, or more likely, make more money even when dispatching an apprentice technician that hasn't achieved the highest level of competence. You may ask, is it fair to charge more per hour? The answer is certainly, as long as the higher rate is reasonable. Remember, there is no requirement to be the cheapest service company in town, and you probably don't want to be. Let those other guys have a race to the bottom. As a professional company, you are entitled to a fair rate to assure your success and longevity in business. And here's a question to ask yourself. Is it fair to ask a customer to pay more for any given repair when an apprentice technician goes out and takes perhaps twice as long to complete a repair as compared to a highly qualified technician? Certainly that's not fair to the customer. One more thing to remember. We've been doing this since 1999, so we've learned a thing or two about what works and what doesn't. Considering the nearly 100 million repairs that have been completed using our system, it's safe to say we've got your back and we won't steer you wrong. So, that's the scoop on labor times. Proceed to Flat Rate Training Video 8 to learn about setting labor rates.